Frame. All right, click the links for Odyssey, Bit Chute, Support Channel, Coffee, CashApp, Subscribe Star, the various other links. If you want to get those other videos from the stuff that's not allowed on YouTube, which as it turns out is quite a bit, but is allowed on Subscribe Star and the other links. So what do you do when you have a two-tier justice system? Well, you don't have a two-tier justice system for long if you have a group of people who are not comfortable being oppressed over a long time period. Eventually, they're going to seek redress of grievance as the Founding Fathers intended. And, saying that and realizing it's all actually happening and it's all actually going to happen very shortly is a trip. But, it is what it is. Sometimes you just have to accept that the barbarian is at the gate and you have to go meet them. Difficult decisions do not get easier the more you avoid them. It's best to just go excise that cancer. So what I mean, two-tier justice system. This Judge Benjamin Leutwyler something is a globalist judge, globalist activist judge. There's a two-tier justice system in America with these globalist activist judges who are going to treat different people differently. And if you are like a J6 type of event, you get people sitting in prison for that, where you have something like this, where an Antifa bad guy convicted of 4 counts of attempted malmense for blasting a driver in a Jeep with his family, trying to flee from rioters, gets no prison time. He shot and injured 4 fellow protesters. As you can see from the road below, what happened was, you've seen this stuff in America before. They flooded across both roads. And let me just say, listen, if you see this stuff on the horizon, and there's any way you can turn around and get off the freeway, avoid trouble. Once you get past a certain age, if you're young, you may think, I'm just going to drive through those sons of bitches. And you get old, you're like, oh, there's like the whole, I just want to avoid as much trouble as you can. But the thing is, if you're like the cars, a lot of these cars look like they got trapped. And most of these people are trying to avoid trouble. They have no idea what the hell's going on. They're not following Twitter. Like, to see people on the freeway, they just don't understand it. So most people are just trapped and trying to escape. So this Antifa kid, I don't know if they'll show him. He looks like a real nut job. No, why don't they show? There he is. He's got a revolver. I don't know what, a 38 or 357 or something. And so this Jeep is driving through this crowd, and it's not hitting anyone. There's where the Jeep is driving, there's no one in the middle of the road, and he's not flooring it. He's just driving through at a reasonable speed, trying to get away from the crowd. And all of a sudden, you hear, I don't know, half a dozen shots. Probably empties the revolver at this Jeep. I don't know if he even hit the revolver. And with the Jeep with a pistol, it's like he's firing at a car that's leaving. He's not. That's not self-defense. Would be if a car coming towards you, you might be able to assert the defense of self or others. If you had a car trying to come towards you to run you over, maybe you might be able to assert that defense. But you can't assert the defense if the car is driving away from you, which is what happened. The car is driving away, so he pops off probably all 6 rounds in his revolver. Of course, he doesn't hit the Jeep, but what happens is he hits 2 of his fellow Antifa bystanders. Grazing wounds. They weren't seriously hurt, not a big deal, but that shows a remarkable lack of clear thinking, to think you're going to fire at a target as it's leaving at a distance in a crowd of people. It's like, bullets go a long, long way. Do you think the bullets are magically going to stop, or that you're going to hit the target so well that it's just going to hit the target and not go onward? It's like you didn't hit the target at all if you just shot into the crowd, hitting 2 other people, which is great because you're Antifa. Antifa's blasting Antifa. It was just funny because they did that L.A. protest. I think it was L.A. or Bay or somewhere where there was a spa and there was a man walking around naked in the spa, and some women were having a protest, and Antifa shows up, and it's just a bunch of women having this, holding up signs saying they I think maybe it was San Francisco because California passes weird laws. It was just a bunch of women holding up signs. You have a bunch of Antifa come up, and the BLT version of Antifa, and they come up and they're armed and they start stabbing, but they start stabbing each other because they don't know who is who or something. And I don't know, maybe someone said the wrong thing. So 2 Antifa people got stabbed at that protest by other Antifa people. It's like, there's actually, now I think about it, I've seen a couple of videos where there was 2 women arguing, 2 Antifa girls were arguing, and one Antifa guy tries to go in there and gently tries to say, okay, you know, let's just leave each other alone, kind of thing. And so they start attacking him. It's like, these are just mentally ill people. They're just angry people, and they have nowhere to put that anger. So they kind of put it all on the right, on this straw man of everyone is Germans from the 30s, and like this family of 4 driving a Jeep, trying to escape a mob. They're the Germans of the 30s. It's like, no, you guys are the communists of the 1920s, which is a million times worse, because the Bolshevik Revolution actually happened. They actually did put people in gulags and torture and starve people. We're going to take the farmers off the farm and put them in, make them school teachers, and put school teachers who are think of themselves as too high and mighty, and make them farmers. Seriously? So what happens when you do that? Oh, well, the farm production drops because, you know, farming is a skill, and people starved to death. Oh, that's weird. Seems like you wouldn't take people out of skilled positions and do that, but they do. These are crazy people. And we got a 2-tier justice system. So you got a series of like crazy people doing crazy things, and you kind of wonder. Normies are sitting in the background and thinking, okay, well, eventually the adults are going to enter the building. The adults are going to come back in the room, and somebody's going to fix this. Somebody's going to make this right. And you start looking at it, and you go, okay, well, where are these adults going to come from? You look at Biden in the executive branch, right? And you realize, oh, there's no help there. The guy has dementia. Kamala's an idiot. And then you look at the other branch of government, legislative branch, and you realize, oh, 535 people sitting in Congress, the bicameral House, and they're not doing anything. And then you look at the state level governors and mayors and realize, oh, in some states that are red states, red cities, red states, some areas you're okay. But as you get into blue cities, you realize, oh, it's just a free-for-all. It's just a madhouse of crazy people. So there's no authority from on high who's going to come down and fix this. Like, you go look in the mirror, and then go look at your neighbors who are like-minded. I don't want to say necessarily conservative, but not whack job liberals. You're gonna have to find. So I guess it's something akin to conservatism. People who ask, well, why is the fence there before we tear it down? And you're gonna have to get together and fix this. Oh, we're gonna elect people in 2024. I don't think so. If Stalin said it doesn't matter how you vote, it matters who counts the votes. So I mean, once you go from the soapbox to the ballot box to the cartridge box, if the elections don't actually matter, then I mean, you know what's next on the equation. The founding fathers had all this in plan, and it's a mind fuck to actually say this stuff out loud. It's weird to America, like 250 years almost, and it's not gonna make it another 250 years in this present form, which is a shame. It's gonna have to change, but the change is gonna have to come from you and I. Which is a shame, because as on my nightly walks, I think, like, everyone who knows what needs to be done is like 20 years too old and 40 pounds overweight. So you're gonna have to use rhetoric and dialogue and logic to talk to younger people, to form local groups in your area of like-minded individuals, because geography matters. That means, you're gonna have to actually talk to people, in person, and meet with people in person, which entails some risk. But it's like, it's game theory. Everyone's kind of hoping someone else will take on the risk and the reward of solving this issue. And that's just not going to happen. It would have happened already. It would have happened decades ago. It's like things are just continuing to devolve. The only way to change this is with that person in the mirror. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, support channel on CashApp, Coffee, various other links. If you can, subscribe star is cool. If I get some activity, more activity over there, I might start putting stuff over there also. See you guys on Gab.